Good afternoon, friends. Steve Benoon here with Israeli News Live. And look, we're going to be having on Colonel Greg tonight and be sharing an early preview of that over on our Patreon channel. It's patreon.com/Israeli News Live. And we've actually loaded three videos here recently. I think you'll find interesting, including that on Three Eye Atlas. But there's some more interesting discoveries that I'm making about Three Eye Atlas. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about that again tonight with Greg Renchant. So, those of you that want to get the early access to that interview there, Colonel Greg will be on with me. We've actually discussed some of this already, and I actually got right up here for you. I'm going to share something really nuts with you on this too. Uh, Greg and I, as we were talking about Area 51, and I asked him, I said, Greg, I said, why are they I said, I've heard reports that this has been shut down. Then you find out it's false rumors. Of course, you had the fire there at Area 51 that caused some concern a while back. I said, do you know anything about what's going on there? He said, actually, I do. He said, there is a partial containment problem, he said, that's going on. And he shared with me that they had reached out to him and asked him to come contain what they had a problem with. Greg said, I'm too old for this. He said, I'm 65 years old. And they said, look, you're the only one that knows how to confront this problem head on. And so he told me, he said, I give them some ideas of what I thought would help contain it. And he goes into this elaborate thoughts on using some type of electrical grid. And I said, Greg, I said, what in the world would you, why do you have to, why can't you just go in there and kill the thing? He said, Steve, you can't kill what's already dead. And I'm like, now that's a novel idea. He said, these things, Steve, are not alive in reality. He said, they're dead, they're dying. He said, they may somewhat still appear to be alive, but they're not. And he said, how do you kill something like that? He says, I don't want to go back through that anymore. And he said, I'm too old for this. I told them, look, I can't do this anymore. You need to find somebody else. That's pretty bizarre, right? I mean, that is flat out bizarre. So, anyway, we started talking a little bit about Three Eye Atlas, and I threw in a curveball to him on that subject. And when I did, he said, wow, now that's a new one. And he said, but you know what? You may be right on what your hypothesis is. So we may be getting something more visiting this planet in the not so distant future. I don't say that Three Eye Atlas itself is coming by, but I've always told you guys 2026 is supposed to be the year. We'll find out if that's true or not. At any rate, join us over on our Patreon channel. We've done a couple of videos there. The one I did on Three Eye Atlas, though, is going to be amateur compared to the next one I'm about to do on that subject. I have found astronomers from around the world that are weighing in on it, and it may not be as pleasant as we really would like to hear. Stephen Benin with Israeli News Live. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and hope to see you later tonight.